Hello everybody, welcome to Coco's Crochet. I'm Litza and this is our podcast number 147. It's Thursday, the 7th of August 2025, week 1 of my birthday month, and many of ours birthday months has already gone. Unbelievable, right guys? But here we are together again. I absolutely love that. Now, welcome to all of our new Yarny friends. It's so nice that you're joining us. As I always say, I hope you stick around for a while because we are such a fun bunch, and I'm sure that you will totally agree with us. Now, we have quite a few of your makes to showcase this week as always, and once again I'd just like to thank you all in advance for sending in all of your beautiful makes for us to ooh and ah over. I really do love it when they pop into my emails, and I have been cleaning up my emails because at one point I just had no storage. Anyway, that's another story. We're not here for that now. We're here for the crochet and the yarny goodness. I do have a few of my friends that have joined us today, so we'll have a chat about them a little bit later. And just a few little bits and pieces here and there, including some life at the very, very end. Now, before we get started, I want to say a huge thank you to one of our yarny friends who bought me 5 coffees for my birthday on Buy Me a Coffee. I couldn't believe it when that came through, and I was so very, very grateful because you know I love my coffee. So I just want to say cheers and thank you very, very much. I really do appreciate it. Oh my goodness, like I said, what a lovely surprise. And the other thing that I'd like to talk to you about before we get started showcasing all of your wonderful makes, the beanie that I'm wearing here, if you haven't already seen that amazing Happy Mail video from our friend Josephine that came out yesterday, please go and do so. Now, Josephine told us what this beanie pattern is because I wasn't quite sure. So Steve and I got matching beanies, different colours but matching beanies, in that they are both a Bag O Day pattern, and it's the tutorial is the cluster beanie. So thank you so much, Josephine, for sharing that with us. I absolutely do appreciate it, and I don't think I've made that one, so I might have to become one of the beanie of the weeks, or at the very least add it to my crochet to-do list because it is such a beautiful, beautiful beanie. Thank you very, very much. Now, let's get started with your makes. Oh my goodness, are we ready for this? Without any further ado, let's get started. So our friend Vicky Kay has been very, very busy sharing some of her makes with us. Now, look at these super cute comfort bears. Vicky used the Red Cross pattern for trauma bears, so you can't use the same name as the Red Cross, so Vicky is calling them comfort bears. Now, Vicky added a muzzle to them and ears as well, which she sourced from YouTube tutorials. Thank you so much, Vicky, for sharing your little comfort bears with us. I've always said that I'd like to make some, and you know, now that you've shared the pattern, I absolutely love that. So if you go to Red Cross, I believe Vicky said you can download it from there, access it from there, and also on Pinterest. Now, Vicky has also made these slouchy hats. One of them she used Poppy Craft cakes in 10 ply in the color green mix, and the other one is a Spotlight Millends in a peachy variegated color. Absolutely gorgeous. So these beanies have already been donated to Vicky's dad's cancer ward. I absolutely love that you make so many beautiful beanies for people that actually need them to keep their little heads warm, and imagine how loved they must feel knowing that you've made something just for them. So thank you, Vicky, for sharing all your makes with us. Now, next we have our friend Alley Cat. So here is a beautiful sunburst granny square throw. The color combination of the cream, the greens, the red and the yellow is absolutely gorgeous. And I really like the panel, I guess we'll call it that, in between the the sunburst granny squares that you've added, Alley Cat, in the solid color. Absolutely gorgeous. So thank you so much for sharing your throw with us. Now, next we have our friend Geraldine from G Crochet Off the Hook. If you're not already hanging out with her, you really do have to go and do so. She's a lot of fun and a very, very talented crocheter. Now, Geraldine has been joining us in for Beanie of the Week, which I absolutely love. So here is Geraldine's beanie from last week, the landslide beanie. Geraldine used Bianca Made in Turkey acrylic yarn, and her chocolate 6mm Clover and More hook. Now this beanie slid off Geraldine's hook, she tells us, and into her donation stack. I absolutely love that, because the majority of the beanies that Geraldine is crocheting this year are going towards donations. Thank you once again, Geraldine, for joining in with us and making Beanie of the Week extra fun. Now next we have our friend Shirley. Now those of you who know or have just been here for a while with us, you know that Shirley crochets so many blankets for Camp Boggy Creek, and here are 4 more finished blankets. Now this one is the waves pattern. The yarn that Shirley used is the Bag O' Day tonal hues color. Tonal hues in the color, I don't know how to say this, EXQUITI clutter or cluster in pinks. It's absolutely beautiful, and now that I have actually felt that yarn, I know how soft and beautiful that blanket is, Shirley. Absolutely beautiful. Now, blanket number 2, Shirley made the smiley face blanket. It is so, how can you not smile when you look at that? Shirley used Walmart Mainstay yarn in yellow. In the face, the smiley face is the double crochet stitch, and for the border, the black border, Shirley used the half double crochet stitch. It is so cute. Imagine some little person receiving that. And blanket number 3 is the square pattern by Mama Swift, and the tutorial is by Jax, and it's called Sweet Marshmallow Kiss. How gorgeous is that? The yarns that Shirley used are Karen 1 pound in dark pink and Zinnia Multi. Absolutely gorgeous, right guys? Now blanket number 4 is the same pattern as blanket number 3. Shirley used Premier Basics yarn DK weight in the colors Aqua and Bright Aqua. That one is so very pretty. And I have to say, like I always do, your kind and generous heart is just amazing. These children are so very blessed to have you crocheting these gorgeous blankets for them. So thank you so much, Shirley, for sharing your blankets with us. Now next we have our friend Kim. Now remember, our friend Kim is by Stitchel. Today she sends us in, or she shares with us, this very sweet knitted baby dress made using Stylecraft bamboo prints in the color Puzzle. Imagine how soft that is. Bamboo yarn is so soft. And a 3.25mm and a 4mm needles. So not crochet hooks, but knitting needles. Thank you, Kim, for sharing your beautiful little baby dress with us. And then Rachel, Kim's daughter, crocheted another gorgeous lantern blanket using Stylecraft double knit in a variety of colors. Absolutely stunning. Thank you, Kim and Rachel, for sharing your beautiful makes with us. And then we have our friend Diane S. Now Diane also shares in Beanie of the Week with it, like participates, and I absolutely love that. Once again, making this even more fun. Now here is Diane's Beanie of the Week. Diane used Big Twist yarn with the colour Arcade Party. Diane chose this colour as it is very cheerful. It certainly is. Diane used her creative license and changed the half double crochets to double crochets. Now thank you for sending a little cheer our way, Diane. I really do appreciate it. Now next we have some of Diane's FOs. So there's 2 to share with you. So Diane completed a scrappy Christmas blanket. Diane has been working on it for about 3 to 4 months. What a gorgeous size it's turned out to be. She's been using double-stranded Christmas coloured yarn with an 8mm hook. Oh my gosh, it just sounds beautiful. This was Diane's end of the day project. It was nice and mindless, she tells us, while Diane watched, YouTube tutorials and some shows on TV. That is absolutely awesome. That's the type of project we all need at the end of the day. Now, Diane also completed 8 squares for her Sadar Halloween crochet along. There are 10 squares to go. Now, Diane is using 4-weight stash yarn and a 5mm hook, her favourite hook. We all know that. There are only 4 squares, tells us Diane, in the patterns that Sadar has put out. So Diane has been sourcing a variety of other patterns via YouTube, mainly free tutorials, because she would like to make each and every square different. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to see your finished blanket. So thank you so much, Diane, for sharing your makes with us. Now, next we have our friend Josephine, and she has 5 FOs to share with us today. Now, this is the Tendril Shawl, a paid pattern by Carmen Heffernan. Josephine used fingering weight mini hanks Color Explosion Club. That's where she got them from. It's a subscription from Trilogy Yarn, and she used a 4mm clover or more hook. I can imagine how soft and how drapey this shawl is, because fingering weight and a 4mm hook, it would just create the most fabulous fabric. Thank you for sharing your shawl with us, Josephine. Now, these turtles are from a tutorial at Knitting Life. Josephine used 4-weight yarn in Mainstays Turtle Green. What a great colour choice. And yarn scraps for the shells. Excuse me. Now, the super cute star key chains are a tutorial by Hooked by Robin. You can find those on YouTube. Those are the tutorial. And the turtles and the stars will go to donations, and they are also random acts of kindness. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, here is a Meadow Bunny from Crochet Nation newspaper. Josephine used 5-weight yarn. Also, Buddy Bear 2.0 by our friend Cassandra at Craftably Ever After, and Josephine used 5-weight yarn for him as well. Now, last but certainly not least, look at this super cute pair, a mouse and a bunny from a free Yarn Inspirations pattern. Thank you so much, Josephine, for sharing all your wonderful FOs with us. And that's it, guys, oohing and ahhing over all these amazing makes. Once again, who added something new to their crochet to-do list? Oh my goodness, never, ever, ever going to end, is it? I wonder how many of us will be able to tick off everything in our crochet to-do list. I certainly won't be the one that does that. So now, what have I been up to, guys? Well, first of all, we need to talk about Beanie of the Week. So let's get started. Now, here it is here. This colour is absolutely gorgeous. It's peacock is the colour. Steve fell in love with it when he saw it. I have had this in my stash for a very long time. It has crocheted up a little bit stiffer than normal, and I'll let you know why in a moment. But when I wash this, I know it'll be super soft. So this is the yarn that I used, my Spot Saver USA style. And for the brim, I used a 4mm hook. That's what made it extra, you know, I think tight and not so soft, but it will be. And then a 5mm for the body of the beanie. Now, this beanie is the Prim beanie. I did have a printout and I forgot to bring it. It doesn't matter. If you go to Bella Coco, so Sarah Jane's blog, you'll be able to see the beanie there. But she also has a YouTube tutorial for it, which of course I will be linking in the description box for you. Now, Sarah Jane did use a 4.5mm hook for the brim, and then she used a 5mm hook for the body of it. But you know me, I never listen to the recommended hook sizes. Always that rookie mistake. I've got to stop making it. So my beanie, the brim turned out very, very wide. So I didn't have as many rows to do for the body of the beanie. So basically what you do with this beanie is you crochet the band or the brim first, and it is quite wide. She does give you all the different sizes and how many stitches to start off with. And silly me didn't think I'm using a slightly bigger hook. I should have done a few less chains to start off with, but that doesn't matter. Now, I have to say that this took me so long. I am not great at doing the bands like that, but I thought this time, let me make it the way that it's meant to be. And then for this, it's such a beautiful pattern. It's only a 2-row repeat, and in essence, it's just like granny clusters in between, and then underneath you just do some single crochets, chains and single crochets. You create a little loop, and then in that loop, you make your 3 chain clusters or double crochet granny clusters in the other row. Now, it is written in UK terminology, but Sarah Jane in the tutorial does let you know what the equivalent in your US terminology is. But Steve cannot wait to wear this beanie. He was actually trialing it on for me last night, so I know that it fits him perfectly. In actual fact, it fits my head, but it could have been a little bit smaller. But in saying that, it is going to keep his head very, very warm, and that's all that matters, guys. So I wonder how many of you will be making Beanie of the Week, which is the Prim Beanie. And you know what? I can't believe I hadn't made anything from Bella Coco so far, because I learned how to crochet by watching Bella Coco tutorials. So she had to be one of the contributors to Beanie of the Week. So that's that one, guys. Pop that on your to-do list, and I wonder how many of you will be sending yours through to us. Now, next, my friend John at work, who you may remember I made the beanies and the scarf for, asked me, oh man, 2 months ago, well, we were talking about, you know, making a mandala or a doily or a coaster, giant coaster, to go under one of his African busts that he has, artwork on top of the old school speakers that he has. Absolutely gorgeous. And, you know, we were arming and ahhing about, you know, which one to go with. And then I remembered that our friend Fran had gifted me this gorgeous book. 2023, it says here, July 2023, so 2 years ago. And I have looked through this book so many times, and Fran even had the author sign it for me. I just think that is so super cool. So I gave this book to John and I said, look, just go through it, let me know which ones you like. And he did give me 3 choices, but he did mention how much he liked beads. And he said, can you crochet with beads? I said, yeah, absolutely. So this is what the beanie looks, the beanie, the mandala looks like. So I didn't do it in all different colors because John just wanted one color. And we landed on this beautiful color here, which is called Olive. And it is a line brand made with love. This is the cottony one, I think it's called, and it's 60% cotton and 40% acrylic. It is such a beautiful soft yarn, and I did use tiny, tiny little beads. I don't have them here, but I have used them before in a shawl, and I used the silver ones. So let me show you this, because it has been blocking since Sunday. What do you guys think? Can you actually see? So this row, and this row actually have the beads in there. On the very last row, you can see the pins. Now, I'm going to pop a picture up here. I had each and every round had so many pins on it, and I steam blocked it. I've never done that before, but I bought myself a little handheld steamer from Kmart, and I've tried it that way. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to spray starch it very, very lightly, but I am going to give that to him tomorrow because it's been, as I said, blocking since Sunday. So that's almost a week, 5 days. I think that's pretty good. So let's hope that it fits the space that he wants it for. If not, I might be coming back because I might have to make another one out of this book, one of the other choices, because I'm not sure if it's going to be too big. And if it is, I really don't mind, like I said to John, because I'm just going to put it on a hoop. I think it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. So that took me about 3 hours. I started that on the Saturday night for about 2 hours and finished it off on the Sunday morning. Last weekend, and then it took me a little bit, maybe half an hour to, you know, pin it all out and steam it, and then just leave it to be so that it could stretch. So fingers and toes crossed, guys, that it's going to be the right one. Otherwise, I'll be making another mandala. But that book is absolutely gorgeous. So if you get your hands on it, oh my gosh, thank you so much, Fran. What a wonderful gift. And it was so nice to share it with John. He could not believe it when he was looking through it. It was awesome. Now, as you can see here, I have quite a few friends to share with you. So the very, very first one that we're going to talk about is, let me get my notes here. I actually know what they are, but I don't want to make any mistakes. You know me. Now, the very first one that I'm going to show you here is our friend Snake. Now, look at his face. I absolutely love him. And I did make him using, I hope this isn't the last of it, because I've just realized this is the yarn that I've been using for the corners for my Birthstones cowl blanket. Oh my goodness. Anyway, this yarn is just Millen's. It is beautiful blanket yarn, and it is one of the most softest, most beautiful yarns to use. You can just imagine how soft this snake is here. He is so gorgeous. Now, the pattern is by our friend Jenny at In My Spare Time Crochet. Guys, you need to go and watch that video if you haven't already seen it, and you will want to make a snake because Jenny has a very unique way of making the head that is so super simple. So thank you so much, Jenny, for putting out such a wonderful tutorial. And it's also very nice and soothing listening to Jenny's voice. I really did enjoy that. So I will be making more snakes. I absolutely loved making him. The only thing I did was I made him a little bit longer, and I did use a 7mm hook for him, whereas Jenny uses a 5mm hook, and I think she was using the Aldi yarn. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, should I or shouldn't I leave the tongue on, guys? I'm not sure. Or the fangs, what are they? You can actually pull it out. I haven't tied it in, so we'll see about that. Now, I just wanted to show you the eyes because, I don't know, can you see them there? They've got glitter in them, so they're nothing fancy. I only bought them on Temu, but they were actually a really good buy. I can't remember how much I paid, and there's all the different sizes in here. It's a bit glary there with all the different colors, and if you haven't seen these before, I'll just show them to you because I had heard of these and I had never purchased them. Like I said, they're not the expensive ones, but they're really nice, and they're all different sizes. So basically you get this bit here, which is black and then clear, and then it has a little disc, and the disc has the glitter on it, and you pop it in there, and that looks great, doesn't it? And then the backings of these actually work, which was such a great surprise. So I thought I'd show them to you. I really don't remember how much I paid for them because I've had them for about a year. I'm so glad I remembered them because I think they look rather nice, especially with a snake. I would have liked to give him green eyes, but I ended up giving him yellow eyes because I was looking for the size more so than the color. So that's my little snake. So like I said, I will be making more of him for sure. And then I have my loaf cats. Now, I've made a loaf cat in the past, but I'd never made one out of blanket yarn. And I really wanted to try the Annie Caraway Arts pattern. She's got a YouTube tutorial out now. So I haven't bought the, the PDFs or anything. I just went straight to the YouTube tutorial. And I made one where I actually embroidered the face. He's so cute. Now, his tail should have been a bit higher, but I still think he looks super cute. And this is that super soft yarn, the blanket yarn. Now, for him, you can't really tell, but I did use a grey for the tips of the tail, the ears, and his little bobbly feet. But it blends in so well with the rest of the yarn. And for the second one, I actually thought I really want to see the contrast. So Annie Caraway recommends, oh, my little duckies. They're not in a row. They've fallen over. Okay, so for this one, I've used the blue glitter eyes, embroidered his face. Now, Annie Caraway uses like a cream, not a white colour for the bobble feet and the face. Like with him, you can't really tell that his face is a different colour to his body, but it is. And then this one here, oh my gosh, look how cute they are side by side. I used brown for the ears and I embroidered the face on with brown, whereas this one is black. Now, this is the exact same hook size 7, the exact same yarn pretty much, just different color. But the only difference is I overstuffed him. He was my first one and he is a chubber compared to this one, but I think they both look really, really sweet. And this one I did put the tail up higher, so I do think he looks so much better. And there's his little bobbly feet. These were a lot of fun to make, and I'm pretty sure that I will be making more in the future. So that is by Annie Caraway, YouTube tutorial for free. I didn't pay for the patterns, but I do know that you can buy really nice pattern sets from her. And then I made the rubber duckies. I haven't bought the pattern with me, apologies, but it's the free rubber ducky Instagram pattern that I shared in my video with all the Instagram makes, and I thought I'd make 2 more. Now, I use the glitter Motivera yarn, or is that the the one that from Spotlight, I don't think it's Motor Vera, but the rest is Motor Vera. And for both of them, I used a 7mm hook, and these have safety eyes. Safety eyes in them as well. And I think they turned out super, super cute as well. So I have a really nice little collection of friends up here, don't you think, guys? I absolutely love them. So let me pop them back in here for safekeeping. And of course, their friend, the snake. Again, what do you think? Should I keep his fangs or his tongue? We'll see. I'm going to pop him over here. And then last but not least, I really wanted to make the hedgehog fidget. Oops, he's a bit lopsided. A while ago, I wanted to make the hedgehog fidget toy. This came out about a year ago, I think, the tutorial. Now, I didn't bring the yarn with me, of course, but the pattern for him is, I've got it here, where is it? I do have it here. Treasured Hometown. So you can get the YouTube tutorial. Now these are all pony beads, and I've got little tiny safety eyes in there, but the yarn is the velvet yarn that I had, velvet chenille yarn that I bought from Kmart, and he's even got a little nose that's a safety eye. And it actually works up really nicely. And I used a 5mm hook. I don't know if I didn't stuff him correctly, but he doesn't really sit right. But look, he's meant to be a fidget toy. You just hold him and play with him, like, you know, if you're feeling a bit stressed and what have you. I think the color choice for the beads is rather cute. And as cute as he is, I'm not in love with him, but I do like him, and that's what's important. So I'm going to pop him down there. And you know what? Now I can actually tick that off my crochet to-do list, because he's been on that list for about a year. I remember when all of you were making him, and I was like, I need to make him as well. Because I think I've made a fidget octopus from the same designer. So I think that's it for my makes for the week, guys. I am working on another little blanket in the background, but I'll bring that to you hopefully next week if it's finished. The other thing, or the only thing I need to remind you of, is that tomorrow, Friday the 8th of August 2025, please come back, because we will be spinning that, you know, bingo barrel around, so we can announce the winner of our stitch markers for July for our birthstones, Cal. So please come back for that. Now, I have an exciting idea, which I hope it excites you as much as it excites me. I would like to invite you all to come to my birthday party, which I'll be hosting it here with Steve on the 24th of December, 24th of August. It'll be a Sunday. Now, I don't know how to do lives. I think we all know that. And also I was thinking, coordinating the times to like fit all over the world that would be suitable for everyone would be crazy. So I just thought it would be a fun, you know, way, like almost like a crochet and chat. I'll be here with Steve. I'll open all my birthday gifts here. We'll have some snacks. And I thought it'd be a nice opportunity if anybody had any questions that you'd like to ask myself or Steve about crochet, about life. It would be a good opportunity to answer some of them, because it's been a very long time since we did a Q&A or a, you know, ask me anything type video. So if anyone has anything, you know, that might be new that you want to ask us, I mean, I'm very open and I share pretty much everything with you. So there may be nothing that you need to know, but if there is something, I'll grab all those questions and I'll put them together and we'll incorporate them in our birthday party video as well. So I think that that's pretty much it, guys. Other than that, work, you know, has been crazy, which it always is. Life has been wonderful at home, which it always is, thank gosh. And that's it, guys. I hope you're all keeping well, because I know that, you know, we all have our own daily struggles and routines that we need to get through. And always, I hope you have that, you know, downtime, that me time, that namaste zen time that we all need to just reset. So once again, this is what this has been, our Thursday get together for resetting. I invite you all to send in any of your makes that you wish to share with us. We always love that. And other than that, just take care. And I shall see you all very, very soon. Bye-bye, everyone.